Hello, so thanks to today's FNM at Home event, I came back to historic format after a break that lasted about 2 months. And since I won, I didn't know the meta, and just came back with my old Rakdos Kroxa deck. But since I won the first game, I'll assume it's not laughably bad for this meta, so I'm gonna provide a quick overview of this deck. So, as you can see, this is traditional historic Kroxa. In best of one, for some time I played 2 abrades instead of 2 thought seizes, but after some time I decided on I even have some sideboard here, but after some time I just played the best of 3 version in best of 1 as well, so because I don't know, maybe the meta shifted or I needed to thought seize my opponent from time to time. So if you're interested, this is my sideboard. It's from September, so maybe it's not great for today's meta, but here it is, the way I left it. And the main deck, as you can see, mana curve doesn't look great. It's quite heavy in 3 drops slot, but the deck is very cheap overall, and these are the cards I think I need. I have some 4 mana and 5 mana plays with Escape of Woe Strider for 5 mana and Kroxa for 4 mana, but for most of the time I just play the costs of these cards, so Supplier enables my escape synergies and enables Call of the Death Dweller, which is pretty great in this deck. Thought this is just some other form of disruption, because I don't have any removal besides of what Chainwheeler, Mayhem Devil, and especially these creatures with Death Touch can kill. And I have some sacrifice outlets. This is just War's Stitcher's Supplier. Priest is another sacrifice outlet, and sometimes it's very good, but it's the first card I take out while sideboarding versus most of the decks, or did in September. And Kroxa is the main star, as you can guess by how I call this deck. This Death Touch counter is great with Chainwheeler and Mayhem Devil. This is good value, another value from Supplier and Triton, and another sacrifice outlet. It does a good job in this deck, and unfortunately I play only 3 copies of Mayhem Devil because my 3 drop slot is so heavy, and I think I need 4 copies of the rest of the cards. And this is my mana base. I didn't put any fast lands, just took the deck from... Oh, okay, so fast lands. I remember there are enemy fast lands in Kaladesh Remastered, so that's another reason I didn't put Rakdos fast land, because it's not available in Historic. at the moment, but I didn't play Cycle Land. I really want my lands to come untapped. Dragon School Summit and Fabled Passage are needed, but I also try to play it so that they come untapped. That's why I don't play Castle of Locked, which could be very good in this deck. And I decided on just one copy of Phyrexian Tower. There are games when you preferred it to be a swamp, but for most of the time it does a very good job. But still, I wouldn't like to draw the second copy of my legendary land, and it's not that much better than swamp to just and play two copies. So sometimes you can't cast turn 2 Kroxa from your hand because you have Phyrexian Tower, but sometimes you can escape Kroxa in time you otherwise couldn't, because you can sacrifice something like a token from Wolf Strider. Supplier is a nice creature to just sacrifice, get rid of, and fill your graveyard. But sometimes, like you could see in my first game of today's FNM at Home event, I sacrifice a better creature like Goblin Chainwheeler just to be able to escape Kroxa, because it's a great creature. So this is what this deck looks like, and let's go ahead for the second game. And as I said, I don't know the meta. The first game was versus Dimir Rogues, and they had a quite threatening start, but enabled my synergies, filled my graveyard, and I think that's partly what won me the game. So that is quite nice. Okay, this hand is good enough. It's not great. I could use a first turn Stitcher's Supplier, I think. Get such a top deck, and because of Chainwheeler, I try to play as many red mana sources as I can in my first turns. So this is not a good start, I think, but perhaps I will. So these are the cards that I would doubly put in my hand, and
I must contain the blight that dwells within. The land will devour intruders.
and this is a card I could see in my graveyard for exchange. And I'm not sure what this deck is trying to accomplish, but I'll just attack this Nissa. And I think my Devil is good now. I could play Priest and still play untapped Blood Crypt and save some village rights for something else perhaps, but I stayed with Mayhem Devil for now. Maybe it will kill that Nissa or something.
We will protect my home. Strengthen my bond. Zendikar has suffered enough pain. The swamps come to my aid.
So unfortunately that prevents my chain wheeler from coming. I can kill Nissa anyway.
Endings lead to new beginnings.
Okay, so that was enough. I don't know what my opponent's deck tried to achieve. If it has Uro, it should have Uro, I think. Blue mana is here, but no double blue, and some reanimating plan maybe from this Nissa, but hitting with 3/3 menace lands was also some plan, but and casualties of war are obviously good, but I had mana for my village rights, and village rights, as you saw, was very good in this deck. I gained just for one mana. I think I countered the value of casualties of war, so it was one card destroying my two cards, but I spent one card, then getting 2 cards back. It slowed me down, of course, but they paid 6 mana as well, so I couldn't play my Chain Whirler, but it didn't go badly for me, and I didn't need to play this Chain Whirler since I killed Nissa anyway, and the second Village Rites was I held priority with Control plus Shift, and before the sacrifice trigger of Kroxa that was played by hand not escaped, I could draw 2 cards with my Village Rites for 1 mana. So this is another thing that this deck likes doing, filling graveyard with Fabled Passage, and escaping Kroxa was the thing to do in the next turn if my opponent didn't concede their game. But I don't know the meta, I don't know what cards they were looking for. I don't think the only plan to kill me is Nissa, probably some. I see some ramp elements, so maybe Ugin, Uro, or something could be coming. Okay, so that went nice. Let's see. I didn't show what I won for my first game in this event, but it was 20 gems. Maybe this time something different. No gems. Gems are fine for me, so I'm quite happy. And historic is going pretty well. I lost. I didn't lose any game. Won the first 2. So I think I'll come back to limited soon. So it was fun to return to historic, but that's it for now. These are my ranks now. So I'm pretty far from mythic, and still here, and still I want to try to reach it in November, so I'll focus on this. And if you like this historic Kroxa deck, you can check my earlier videos from this channel from September. These are, I think, the first videos available. Maybe I have some drafts or something there as well, but September was a month when I focused on constructed and mostly on historic, but I took Polish in those videos. I decided to change it to English at some point. So if you don't know Polish, you can just play it loudly. Maybe someone will come and you can pretend that you speak some interesting language. And if you know Polish, you'll notice that I talk gibberish, not Polish. But I think you don't know, so my bluff won't be called. Okay, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I try to play this FNM at home event, so I think my channel is mostly limited, mostly drafts, but you'll see some other formats, some fun formats, or just standard or historic here too. So check back, and I hope you subscribe and like this video. So see you later.